my body, and I know you're gonna hear it in your bones. Ouch, when you love someone you're hurting. You gotta take it or leave it here, wasted all alone. I know you feel it right. I know you feel it right. I know I'm still gonna need to let you go. I know you fool me when you hold me like you know you're never gonna let me go. I know you feel it right, like you're never gonna let me go. I know you feel it right, like you're never gonna let me go. Like you're never gonna let me go. I know you feel it right now, right now, right now.
We put our hands up when the sun goes down. We have to put our hands up when the sun goes down. We have to put our hands up when the sun goes down. We have to put our hands up when the sun goes down. When the sun goes down. When the sun goes down. have to put our hands up when the sun goes down. We have to put our hands up when the sun goes down. We have to put our hands up when the sun goes down. We have to put our hands up when the sun goes down. When the sun goes down.
Hello.
Hi, and welcome back to the Goose House for today's weekly skirmish of the league system. So today we normally would have streamed the finals, but we had a bit of a technical issue for the semi, so a few unfortunate DCs, an exploding fuse box. So we're just here with the finals today, and I'm joined today by Vexa.
Hello. So we're just streaming the last game, which is between Team Kian and Team NikNakzz. Both already won their first two games, so should be interesting. Should be good. Is there anything you're hoping to see in this last one?
I mean, I'm, as a friend of Kian, I've never seen him win a custom games before. So now that I've seen him come this far, I'm actually kind of proud of him. But I think he's just going to follow the normal curse he always gets and just get stomped into the ground, as sad as it might seem.
That seems a little bit harsh. I think it will be a good game. Unfortunately, like all of the people I usually play with from G's community have all been knocked out on the other teams, so I am kind of going into this one a little bit blind. I know NikNakzz is, I believe, sort of one trick Akali, like high elo player. So it'll be interesting to see if he gets to pick that champ. But I think
the only thing I can get is word of warning is that if Kian picks Aphelios, it's over. And when I mean it's over
for his
it's
team,
over.
or for
it's over for his team. But yeah, we're seeing it's a good mixture of the elo in these teams actually, between like masters, plats, and diamonds, and a few silvers and bronze. But other than that, it's looking like fairly high elo for most of these team compositions.
I think this week the balancing was probably slightly more consistent across the board. Obviously, we got a bigger turnout, which helps. But yeah, I think all in all, it will be interesting to see.
Yeah, so now we're into the draft mode right now. So Team NikNakzz starting at the left side. Getting first ban
they're banning out the Zac, which I believe Snaggle used to dominate his last game.
Yeah, he hit him with the Zac support, surprisingly, in this pretty hard stamp, and there comes the Akali ban.
There's the Akali for NikNakzz.
I imagine both of these teams have their op.gg open right now, just trying to find what everyone plays.
Hopefully they did a better job than us of actually finding everyone on op.gg. So,
yeah, that was a bit of an issue.
Yeah, our recon was not amazing.
Silas as well. I think that's a Kian ban, actually, that one. Went Silas into Meowy's team in mid lane. A Hecarim ban.
And Nunu. Interesting. People just don't like speedy junglers.
Yeah, I'm starting to think these bans might be based off what they've seen the other people play. So I think they're going for more target bans of individual players than actual team compositions.
Yeah. No, at this point they don't like any jungler with 4 legs. That's my confirmation.
Wait, actually, I'm starting to see a trend. I was about to say I'm starting to see a trend here. Wait. The cannon.
he used this last game to try and tackle G's Nico mid. G actually surprisingly managed the lane really well, and sort of came out of it and started getting some good kills.
I was about to say, I never thought I'd see the day.
But I think with Kennen on your team, you like the sort of crowd control, the damage coming off of his ult in a team fight is pretty scary. So,
yeah, I was about to say, it's actually interesting NikNakzz has gone Kennen here, because normally when you think of Kennen, you're thinking that's a top lane pick. But I think he actually flexes at mid instead.
Yeah, I believe he played it mid last game. It's definitely viable mid. There was the buffs 2 patches ago, and he's risen to S tier top, and I think A+ tier mid. So just really consistent damage, and obviously using energy, like you don't have to worry too much about your mana consumption.
We have a Camille pick as well for top lane. Heavy damage, a lot of split pushing ability, a lot of isolation fights.
So I mean, currently it looks like with the Vi coming out, so you got Team 1 looking for team fights, and Team 2 very much looking to survive, disengage, look for other angles at the moment. Camille and Xayah are both really good at getting out of those team fights, using ults. Camille E is one of the longest dashes in the game. So
yeah, I was gonna say, it looks like Kian seems going more for the individual fighting, trying to win the 1v1s into the team fight. Which,
I mean, definitely a solid choice when you're coming up against a team with just pure team fight potential. The Mordekaiser into Camille, definitely it's not a skill matchup, I'd say. Personally, I would say that's Camille favored. I think Mordekaiser though can just take one of the enemy team out with his own, just remove him from a fight. So
yeah, I think the Kha'Zix has just solidified the. I think Team Kian here is trying to play for the early voice to just kind of steamroll with higher power spikes.
Yeah, I think this Vi is going to have to put in some work in the early laning phases, try and get some good ganks off, because if Xayah and Camille get out of laning phase, this is going to be very difficult for NikNakz's team.
We've seen the Kaiser ban come in here. Pretty interesting, actually.
Yeah, so NikNakz's team have a ADC and support left to pick, so probably see Kian's team ban out that. And on Kian's side, we've still got probably mid and support left to be picked up. So there's the Anivia for the mid.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely trying to break up some of that team composition fighting, I guess, that they're going to have to deal with later on.
Yeah, so the Kian is the mid laner. So you said you're his friend. Is there any other mid laners that he likes picking up?
Well, he does play a Kali mid as well sometimes, but that has sadly just been banned into a different dimension, so I'm not too sure what's going to happen here.
And there's the Thresh. It's interesting. I think there's a lot of good ADCs for team fights left open here. I don't know if they've been picked up by NikNakz's team in other games, but I mean, MF would be a great option. Oh, thanks.
Oh,
hyper targeting Kian here.
Nice. Ugh. It's not looking good for Kian, but to be fair, it also never looks good for Kian. So, but you know, if
they get through. This is
no.
I think NikNakz's team. I mean, obviously, you've always got the skill between the two players, but if they don't sort of pivot to a less team fight orientated team here, it's going to be really difficult. Rakan's so good at minimizing the impact of things like Ken and ult.
Yeah, I was going to say these last 2 picks need to be some definitely high damage. Well, we got the Jinx
hyper carry, and we're just waiting on the support.
Top Kench.
Okay. Top Kench. Okay.
Maybe I didn't realize we had Watley here.
Is it going to be Watley diff again? Possibly. So we're just waiting on Kian's pick. All of his mains banned out. What is he going to go with?
I don't know. This is the only 2 characters I've ever seen him play.
The Cassiopeia.
Cassiopeia. Oh, it's done for.
Is this a...
It's.
Do you think this is still Kian? Do you think they've swapped around?
I mean, Kian does have a viable ADC. He's pretty good playing, but Not too sure about the Zai. I haven't seen him whip that one out yet.
So yeah, I mean, two definitely very interesting and polar opposite comps there. I think the last two picks from NikNakz's team are definitely what they needed to sort of not just go full in on that team fight comp, because
Yes,
things like
we
Rakan,
noticed
Zaya,
with
Camille.
we noticed with the bans on Kian's team, it was a lot of like how do I say, heavy CC. So it was in the not the Alawi, Lilia, and the
Yeah.
I can't think of his name. It just flew out of my head. Yeah, Hecarim for the
yeah.
engage. Just anything with like mass sub CC are able to appeal for fights. They definitely want to ban that out. So it does indicate that they want to go for a stronger individual fighting system. So
Yes.
they really do want that pick. But this also relies on their laners almost steamrolling early, or at least putting themselves in a more favorable position.
I think Zaya Rakan into Jinx Tarm is going to be a very interesting lane. Obviously, you got the two. I know Rakan and Tarm Kench aren't really melee champs, but with those two melee engage supports, I think we're going to see a lot of focus around that bot lane. Camille is extremely difficult to gank, so I think top Mordekaiser is going to sort of be on an island, which might be okay, might go terribly. And
I mean, to be fair, that's nothing different, you know. The top's always been an island since the start of this game.
Yeah, I mean, as a top lane main, you'd be surprised how much impact one gank can have. But obviously, like something like Mordekaiser comes out of laning phase with 1 or 2 items, and he can still.
I mean, the Mordekaiser, even without that, then that Mordekaiser ult just allows them to peel what they could say is the most valuable player, or even the most valuable character, just to get them out of that team fight early, to separate it.
I think the one I'd be interested to see who he sort of focuses his ults on, because if he tries to ult Zaya, Kha'Zix, or Camille, I think he loses that 1v1 even within his ult. I think there's no way he can sort of do enough damage in time. I think his best bet would probably be taking out the Rakan, just so he doesn't have impact in any team fight situation. I think without
I think they're going to be relying on that Rakan, I think, to initiate these team fights with his ult. Yeah. So if he can, as you said, isolate him out, it leaves a lot of the peeling potential just kind of gone, because other than that, there's really not much more else they have for peeling there.
No, I mean, they all have decent escape tools, but I think, without the Rakan, if they ever get caught in a situation like around a dragon fight or a baron fight,
there'll be every man
their team just gets wiped out. Yeah, it's very difficult for their team to survive like a max Kennen ult.
There's no coming out of that one. But like I said, this is very much depending on how these strong individual 1v1 characters go in the lanes. Like, if they don't get that advantage, the game's already scaling away from them.
Yeah, I think the first indicator for this game will be, does Kha'Zix get any real prio on those 2 Scuttle Crabs? I think if Vi gets the ability to take either one of them for free, especially that bot crab, the ability to just go into bot lane, perma, sort of gank out this Zaya Rakan lane, is going to be difficult for them to catch up if Jinx gets ahead.
I mean, I know the Kha'Zix might have some stronger fighting potential in terms of contesting skulls and maybe objectives, but if there's no real snowball with that by the time they reach level 10 or 11, it's going to start scaling away, because Vi will just become so much more impactful with her ults and setups. Yeah,
I think the one thing going in Kha'Zix's favor is if Cassiopeia is played correctly, that sort of 1 through 5 levels should be relatively free into a cannon, should be able to come out of it healthy, and should be able to rotate onto both of the skulls for Kha'Zix.
I'm actually just really interested who Kian's playing now. I have no idea.
Yeah, and I'm not sure if he's still in
I have no clue.
I guess we are about to find out. But yeah, if it's still him on mids, what do you think his chances are of going into a diamond mid main? That face didn't feel.
Yeah, I don't think I can say anything. I think it's a good idea if I just stay silent and just say I hope for his survival.
Yeah, if you speak, you're in trouble.
I'm in big trouble if I speak on this one. But he could always he could be in the ADC. He could be practicing his Zaya.
It could be. I mean, Zaya with a Rakan is a very troublesome lane for any combo, really.
Yeah, especially with that heavy poke at the start.
All right, we're about to find out. It is Kian on the
Oh, jeez.
Ramafi in that top lane for Team Kian has been on Camille before, so that definitely seems to be a comfort pick for him.
Yeah, it seems they put their Asvi, who's a master player, on the Kazakhs as.
Okay. And then that's definitely a hyper carry if you need one.
So it actually turns out it's two masters against each other in the jungle, so it's actually evenly balanced in that regard. Yeah. So
and the jungler and ADC on NikNakz's team are in the same sort of organization on the same team. So I think focusing those ganks early on bot lane is probably going to be what we see. Yeah, we don't get any interesting invades on the level 1. Very upsetting.
No, I think this is going to stay relatively safe. I mean, obviously some early vision from both teams.
Both junglers starting top side, so that level 3 contest of the bottom Skull Crab is definitely going to be what we see, I think.
Absolutely.
It'll be interesting to see if KarZix goes for a full clear. I think if he does into Vi...
This is an interesting one. Okay.
Unfortunately, Mordekai's a passive has aggroed Vi's Gromp, which is...
I think that Grob just got some sentience. I think it realized what was coming to it.
I think even with that, that's probably what, a 3-4 second delay for the Vi. I still believe she full clears much quicker than KarZix. Yeah, she's already.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, so KarZix has only just finished the second now.
Yeah, I don't want to question a master player, but I think if he goes for this full clear, bot lane is already going to be receiving a blue side gank before he's even finished with his blue buff.
Oh,
we get some early
level 2 power spike.
Yeah, it's very strong on Xayah Rakan, especially if Xayah doesn't start Q and starts W instead. Not everybody knows, but Xayah W is an attack speed buff, and with a Rakan, it gives Rakan the exact same buff. So it's the only support in the game that it does it with, but it's very strong for that level 2.
Level 2 power spike, absolutely.
Yeah.
So yeah, obviously, as we can see now, that Vi... actually, red team does have vision in there, so they know Vi's on the red. So
KarZix is now starting his buff. I think, yeah, Vi gets interesting. I think Vi was looking for that gank, but blue side is pushed up on bot, so no real angle for that gank.
As we saw as well, Team Kian actually took the initiative. We got vision inside the buff as well, which just gave them an alerter as well.
I'll be interested to see. Vi is either going to look just straight for the fight on Scuttle. I believe she will. Be interested to see if this Jinx Tarm path up with her.
Yeah, as we're seeing it right now.
And KarZix immediately gives it up. I think KarZix just goes straight for the top Scuttle, which is fine. I think on paper it looks even, but this actually gives far more pressure to the Vi. Bot and mid are going to be the 2 lanes that are most capped.
Yeah, we're having a Kian moment. But the KarZix does jump in for the counter gank.
Yeah, so the
Conqueror proc.
The Cassiopeia W there stops Vi's Q, but it doesn't matter.
Well, I'm not going to say anything, because if someone whips out my OP.GG, I will not be recovering from that.
I mean, it was very, very close. I think that the W on Cassiopeia almost turned that fight, gave KarZix the angle to get a lot of damage on the cannon, but unfortunately not quite enough.
I mean, it was unfortunate that KarZix was there in position, but obviously without that isolation, it just didn't have the damage to finish it off.
Yeah, so Kennen already backing all immediate Sork boots. That is as possibly the most aggressive buy I've ever seen on a Kennen mid. This is... We will be seeing a lot of mid from this point, I believe, because...
and flash coming out from Camille.
That's fine. Camille is a top laner who actually doesn't need flash. A lot of Camille's run Ignite TP, so it's a bit annoying to not have it, but I don't think we'll be seeing any more action really in this top lane for a while. Well, this is where the action will be, though. A Sork boots on the first back for a Kennen. This is like the pure, I'm going to run at you for the rest of the game.
Yeah, I mean, it's just hyper aggression, especially for early scaling. I mean, that extra pen at these low levels will just give such a big damage boost. I mean, we're already seeing the difference in CS that the Kennen is just...
the Kennen's actually slightly behind in CS, but he has already backed... I just took a moment to realize those were not in the right order. No, I think the bigger thing to look at is the top lane disparity in CS. And
Yeah,
Mordekaiser
that is what I was trying to get
40
at.
to
Very
11.
concerning.
Yeah. And even in bot lane, nothing really has happened in terms of ganks, but we've already got a 25 CS lead on eBay Ben, the Jinx player.
Yeah, so actually it's looking quite well for NikNakzz right now, which, as we discussed, if they started losing that early game, it's going to start snowballing away from them. But
Yeah, but if
in the
they,
current moment,
I
they're
mean,
looking a bit stronger.
if they win the early game, which with this team comp really shouldn't be happening, but obviously you never know with League. I think mid game is going to be very difficult for Team Kian to get back into it.
No,
Their
I think
team
we're
fight
seeing-
is a lot worse.
Seeing him engage down the bot lane. Bot lanes still aren't level 6 yet, so I'm not really able to just full commit it yet. So like a
we
reset
got-
then for blue ADC.
Red team, potentially this first drag. They know that bot lane has just backed, so I think there we go. No vision on it. I think Kha'Zix probably just started it, and he hasn't.
No,
Interesting.
They're actually
Okay, they're
choosing not to
buying.
do it. What we're
We
seeing
have
an
got
invade
Vi
now from
stealing
Husky.
red. Yeah. So I think Vi here has immediately assumed Dragon's being picked up, gone to pick something up on the other side of the map, not realizing that Dragon isn't even being taken.
And just got away with it.
Yeah.
That's probably going to get the scuttle as well.
Level up with ult advantage. So yeah, Kha'Zix is not in a good place.
Yeah, and here we see the concern, as I said earlier. If Team Kian doesn't win those early fights and start spiking, then
Yeah,
the game's
I
going to
think
start
this
slipping
Vi
away from them.
here is looking to fight in the jungle.
They have no vision. Oh,
Camille as well, not in a position to help at all.
yeah.
And it's a free.
There we go.
Yeah. So I think what we'll see from here is just a push in on top from Mordekaiser into a dive. Camille does have ult up, which is really strong into dives, and Mordekaiser can't really use his ult to stop anything.
Oh, no.
Okay, Vi gets out, and
Both get out.
It was slightly scuffed, but
A little risky.
in the end, another kill over to Team NikNakzz. It's 3-0 now.
There we go.
bit
We're
of
seeing the
bot
fight now down
pressure.
bot lane. Exhaust coming out, both sums.
Yeah, we've got ult on the Xayah still. That's just been popped.
We got a motorcycle in
Flash
the
from
background.
the Rakan.
Oh, we're seeing a rotate from the mid lane though.
Yeah.
Why Kian? This is your
They
time.
need to try and get both kills here, though. Oh, there's the immediate flash on Jinx. Tom will die, giving it over to the
And
Cassiopeia.
Kian picked it up. Well, for most
that
teams
was
that'd be a
the-
huge advantage, but I think for this team it will not be an advantage.
Fair enough. Never question the Cassiopeia.
Never
Always a
question.
chance of a 1v5.
Well, you know what? I think if Kian 1v5s this, I will personally get down on my knees and apologize to him. I will never doubt his ability in customs again.
The one problem I think we're starting to notice just from when we get to see the team views as opposed to our spectator view is a real lack of vision from both teams on the objective.
Yeah, actually, I was just thinking about that right now.
Yeah, there's. I mean, it's understandable you want to protect your own lane, but I think in these sort of 5v5s, prioritizing objectives is really important. We see now blue team dropping a ward slightly too late, and red team pick up the drag. Overall,
Seeing Mordekaiser now is after building his first item into the Camille that still
Yeah,
not
the
finished yet.
Rylai's.
And there we go, Kian, no
There's
mana,
the
still in
Cannon
lane.
yep.
Yeah, no mana, still in lane, typical behavior.
I think just a quick look at sort of the things you can see at the bottom of your screen. Camille's still heavily behind on CS. No wards dropped yet either. You can see or at least no wards picking up anything. So a 0 ward score there.
Yeah, I was about to say the ward score, actually the vision score from both teams is starting to trigger me a little bit.
It's definitely low. I think we're probably seeing a bit of a solo mentality from these two teams at the moment. I know Vi and Jinx are teammates, so maybe not from them, but yeah, priority on sort of scuttles, the objectives, just sort of looking to get anything from the enemy team's jungle in terms of vision. We're not seeing any of that yet. But we might see it soon. You never know. Another invade, this time from the Kha'Zix.
Notice as well the
you can see
Kha'Zix
the
is
Rakan.
actually... Oh, there we go.
Yeah, Rakan hovering, but
Oh.
not. Oh, and A is able to
Oh my!
get him out.
Oh, never mind.
And then Tal goes straight back in. A Jinx ult.
Unfortunately, despite Snaggle's best attempt, it will not be able to save their jungler.
It was a very good knockout.
I was about to say, that
unfortunately, it
looked
didn't work,
really
but,
clean.
Yeah. You'll notice, I believe it's, honestly, I don't play Rakan, so I could be wrong here, but I believe it's Rakan W, which allows him to jump to his allies with Xayah as well, because they're a couple, it doubles the range.
I was about to say, I've never played a support in my entire life.
But not even Twitch support.
Not even Twitch support.
Wow, that does surprise me.
Oh,
And we just see that
both flashes being
raw
traded,
damage.
and
yeah, I think we'll see 1-for-1 here.
oh my!
Oh no!
No,
He still had ult up.
No.
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah, the ult's still up.
Oh.
I believe this will be the end of Mordekaiser. Yeah, misses the pullback. He's gonna fight out though. He dodges the Cassiopeia ult.
Oh my! And Kian getting the shutdown actually.
Yep, that's a solid amount of gold going over to Cassiopeia, who is a late game carry. Regardless of your thoughts on Kian, Cassiopeia is a menace to deal with late. And Jinx going... No, sorry. Jinx picking up another kill on Xayah. Tahm Kench going straight back in.
Oh.
Sorry, on Rakan. I think Xayah getting 2. That's a 2 for 2,
Ooh.
which... Honestly...
I can't
really
say
well
that's very
played.
word for. Yeah, I was about to say I can't say that's word for blue team now. Actually,
No, that was really well played by a red team to get any sort of equal result from in a 3v2 situation.
sorry, I'm just being hostaged by my cat real quick.
No worries.
Yeah, so yeah, we're seeing now the CS difference between both bot lanes is kind of starting to get away, but I'm hoping with the extra 2, I guess, kills picked up there by the Xayah, the gold differential shouldn't be too bad.
Yeah, so we're seeing what, a 4.5k gold difference over to blue team.
Yeah.
Which is considerable. I think also with Herald going through top lane, if that crashes just before turret plating goes down, that'll be another 350 gold going over to this Mordekaiser and Vi, which is pretty significant. Yeah, we're seeing
it's just
almost a
nice to be
2k
rich, isn't
gold
it?
lead bot lane. Oh, actually, sorry, a 2.5k gold lead on a top side and a.
Oh, we've had a DC.
We got a DC.
We've had a DC in the top lane. I love technical issues. Oh my.
Oh, I think we're straight back though. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm just seeing a few replays right here. Yeah, Kian again in lane, no mana.
All right.
Can I show off my cat? He's like, oh, okay.
Sorry.
Oh, wait. Oh, my bad. Okay. Yeah. So you're seeing a highlight reel right here, right now, and
Yeah, this is so Vi came in late. I think
here it is.
this allowed
2v1.
Xayah to pull out the 2 for 2, burning flash in the process. But yeah, all in all, I think that was
To be honest, burning both sums for 2 kills for a failed tower dive is pretty good. So,
yeah. No, I think honestly, getting that 2 for 2 has
As
sort
you
of
can-
kept the game on its last leg. I think this blue side, once laning phase ends, which is usually when the last turret, Hello Kitty.
I was about to say, as you can see from my analyst right here, who's been currently hard at work studying this game, she's
Yeah.
saying that she's very concerned how the scale is going to go for Team Kian now that they've lost the early lead.
Yes, so Team Kian losing this early lead. First turret's probably about to go down because of the Herald we saw just pathing top. The moment laning phase ends and we sort of start seeing more movement across the map, I think Team NikNakz's team composition, the ability to just fight as a 5v5, is going to be a problem for sure. I think Team Kian is going to have to use their ult smartly. Oh, that is very
That just broke my heart, but Snaggle gets it!
No, Snaggle gets it.
Not letting
Now
that one
can
go.
they secure the final kill? I think they
Kian's
can.
going down as
Cassiopeia is
well.
there.
Oh my god, wait, he's just juking the stomp
Okay.
punch.
A bit of a whiff on the Cassiopeia roll. Yeah, NikNakzz very impressed with that. Okay, so we're 11-6, still, almost a 5k gold lead. That top lane turret did go down. Mordekaiser starting on the tier 2. Tier 2s, for anyone who doesn't know, are the most, what's the right word? They give the most gold in terms of turrets, so you get 500 gold if you take one solo, which is a massive spike in terms of your mid-game power. He's
spiking right now.
Decided to ult the Xayah, which, as we expected, ulting a Xayah, not the best
Never
idea.
a great idea. Thought they do trade Drake for that
Blue
at the
team
same
picks
time.
up drag,
Oh my god.
but it costs them cannon. Another one,
here comes the
unfortunately,
top
going over
bench.
to Snaggle, though. So Snaggle picking up quite a few of these kills we've seen recently. Another fight coming out. I don't think Cassiopeia gets out.
God, could you imagine if Kian had ult right there?
That would have been actually very helpful in that situation, yeah. Unfortunately, used it earlier. How are we looking on items? So Mordekaiser almost ready to afford his second item, the Rift Maker. It's going to be very annoying to deal with in a 1v1. He hasn't opted for a tank mythic, so in these team fights he's not as strong. But obviously if he's just using his ult to pull someone out, then Rift Maker Rylai's very difficult to escape him.
Yeah, I think his main idea here is how many ults he wants to guarantee to kill. So just put
we
him
actually
in a
have
reverse advantage.
Kian picking up his second completed item. So he's got a Xeraphs already, which is the fully stacked tier AP item, and he's already got 6 stacks on his Rod of Ages. So in 4 more minutes, or 3 and a bit, we will see him get a free level, which in this mid game is actually going to be quite important. He's the only one on red side keeping up in terms of levels with his laner. Actually,
I have a question. How are we
yeah.
feeling about the Kazakhs with a Gore Drinker?
So he's going Bruiser. I think it's not his best build. I think most people would agree. But when you're behind like this, into a team like this, he hasn't really got any.
It just needs the survivability.
Good targets. Yeah, there's no one really for him to target with as an assassin. So I think the Gold Drinker build allows him to survive a little bit longer.
Ooh, but Xayah is melting this Tahm Kench right now. But just not enough damage to finish it off.
Yeah, both teams protecting their carries well at the moment. I think Jinx versus Xayah is going to be where we see this late game decided if we get to late game.
Yeah, we're seeing now the top and mid laner kind of just poking out a little bit, just feeling each other out. He's going to collect this bot wave.
Yeah, so I think they've decided that the Camille Mordekaiser matchup wasn't going to plan. So they've got Cassiopeia laning now into the relatively strong Mordekaiser. It'll be interesting to see how that goes. One good thing with Cassiopeia ult is it does allow her, almost 2 seconds within Mordekaiser ult to not take any damage. Which,
it just gives her that extra bit of survivability to hopefully get out.
Yeah. And with Xeraphs completed, you get a very large shield as a mana-hungry champ. This shield will be giving her close to 600-700 extra health, essentially, in these big moments. We'll get to see this Snaggle pick up. Yeah, and then Cassiopeia pathing a little bit over the top.
Do we see Kian's ult again?
No, they skipped. Oh, we're just going back to the start of that fight. Yep, there we go.
No, wait. Can we get it?
And we might be about to get it.
Wait.
That was very sad.
I guess
as we sort of guessed at the start of the game, Mordekaiser ulting someone like Xayah, it's very difficult for him to deal any damage, and it keeps him caged as opposed to keeping his opponent caged. Like, he had no real way of getting out of the Xayah ult there. Tahm going
fights
for
down here.
a very aggressive dive. Red team probably correctly just sitting underneath their turret, although the turret is only on about 300 health now. So
I'm about to say there's not much life left in that turret to save him.
If this Rakan, if he stays anywhere near this turret, he's dead. I think his best bet is to path back to the tier 2. Looking for a catch. No, unfortunately, not a lot to be done there.
Oh, we're seeing the Xayah start padding up top lane though. Maybe hoping to collapse on this cannon or just defend the tower. Not just defend.
I mean, Xayah has on the red team. Just to go back to items real quick, Xayah's opted for a Kraken, which is the highest damage output, but it makes it very difficult for her to run anyone down without that Gale Force. And the Camille has actually opted for a Trinity Force as opposed to the Divine. I think my honest opinion is into Mordekaiser Vi Tahm Kench, the Divine would have given her more of an ability to fight any of those three champs.
Especially the healing off it as well. I think it would have given her a lot more survivability.
Yeah, it's much
seeing
more.
A team fight down here now.
Oh, the
coming in true. Xayah ult as well.
Yeah.
Oh, we're actually getting the picks, and Camille joining in on the fight as well.
Kenan has finally entered the fight. It's going to be interesting to see.
But Kian's still at full health. This is very much fightable.
Yeah, this is. I mean, honestly, Team Kian did much better than we would have expected. I think we saw Xayah and Rakan used very well. Kian still definitely has a chance here. They're all half health or below. Opts to
this is also very messy.
Damaging Tahm, blows his flash. I think he's fine. He survives. His Xerath hasn't procced yet. No. We are about to see him. Yep, there's the free level from Rod of Ages. So he's now the highest level in the game. Let's
see this Drake fight as well again.
Yeah. I really want to see that fight start. I saw Cassiopeia blow ult a bit too early, but then if I saw it correctly, it looked like Xayah and Rakan both used their ults almost perfectly to just soak up all the damage and mass CC the entire enemy team, and I think that's why we saw such a even fight. Yeah, so Cass ult a bit too early, Xayah ult, and you can see all those feathers just go straight through the enemy team. Kenan coming in a bit too late, and half of the team already dead, so Kenan not able to really supply too much damage.
We said one of our concerns that
he comes straight back into a Baron fight.
But he steals
Red
it.
Team steals it. That was quite.
The question is, how does this team fight go though?
So we can see Mordekaiser has got Cassiopeia in the ult, so not able to provide anything to the team. Cass goes down. That's a 2 for 1 at the moment, and it looks like Xayah's also going down. That's a 4 for 1.
Yeah, it's not a great trade-off. Personally, I wouldn't make that deal.
Keeping one person with Baron buff would be. It's not worth, but it's definitely not terrible. I think Camille being able to just push out a wave, like an entire lane, just using that Baron buff will be helpful.
Yeah, we said one of our main concerns at the start was that blue team would not have enough damage to chain these up, but this Jinx right now has just been absolutely melting.
Yeah, well, we've got a Jinx going to be returning with 3 items for the next fight. Opting now for the Infinity Edge as well, which is just... It's going to be insane
you're going to see
damage.
that gold difference right now. It's insane.
Yeah, we're looking at what 3k in top, a little bit behind in mid, but that's fine. 3k in jungle, and 1.5k between the bots. And
as we decided to contest the scuttle, but
unfortunately, blue team is never alone anymore. This team fight comp is sticking together as they should. Jinx
very much
getting caught out by the Rakan though. I think
Oh.
Xayah picks this up. Yeah.
A huge shutdown as well, actually.
Vi deciding whether to go in or not. Deciding against it, probably for the best. We do have Kenan in the top lane, just splitting at the moment. Oh, and another DC. It would appear to be.
Yep. Oh wait, the Xayah's starting to... Oh my god, Kian.
They haven't paused yet. Oh, and he's reconnected.
Is that a Tahm Kench building Heartsteel in support?
It is. Your eyes are not deceiving you.
How are we feeling about that pick?
There's definitely better items for a support to take, but I think Tahm Kench's kit has so much built-in sort of CC peel potential for his team. I don't think he really necessarily needs one of those support items. If he wants to just be a brick wall that the enemy team can't get through, I think that's, you know what, that's fine. I'm not gonna be too harsh on the build. I don't think. Honestly, thinking about it,
I mean, this Tahm Kench
I would say
support has
probably
actually been a lot more
Radiant would
viable.
be what I would expect a Tahm Kench support to go with, just because it heals your entire team when you ult.
I mean, to be fair, the Tahm Kench support has actually done a lot more than I thought it would originally. Especially with the engage and the kind of just survivability just to soak up this damage while his team focuses backline. And we're going to see Kha'Zix get caught out with the ult.
Mordekaiser
I think Mordekaiser's going to
has
look for
decided to ult the Rakan.
Oh, yeah. There we go. This is what we talked about
Just
earlier.
keeps him out, not able to peel for this Xayah at all. Xayah goes down, Rakan tries to get out. Not able to, yeah. Mordekaiser finally, I would say, picking the right target for that ult, and we can see like the team just can't get away without that Rakan supplying all of the peel that he can.
I mean, you know, Bloom Team's just making the right idea. They're deciding just to group up for everything and never be caught out by themselves. And as we're seeing, they just keep getting those individual picks or those two-man picks on Red Team just to decimate it.
Yeah, I mean, if you've got a late game team fight comp and you're able to get through the laning phase the way this team did, it's very difficult for a team to come back.
I mean, question is,
do they stay a bit too long? I think. I mean, Tahm Kench
nope.
and Mord.
ADC survives, but I think the Mord could die here. No.
No, I mean, Mordekaiser at this point is a raid boss. He has Tahm also soaking up the damage. Jinx is still alive. Rakan's looking for something, but
yeah, he's definitely looking. He's looking. About to say, I thought that was me.
Engage, but
and we're seeing a TP just.
This is a Cassiopeia TP.
Kian
trying to get onto the Jinx. It could work actually.
They've turned around.
No, the Jinx traps just keep her alive. Mord goes down though. Tahm goes down.
Does pick up those two picks.
Honestly, that was a pretty good TP. I was questioning it, but blue team decided to turn back around, and it gave Cassiopeia a free.
I mean, this should give them Drake right now, actually.
And it will be soul point. Vi is still down at the moment, so.
That being said, they
I thought
do not
this
have
game
a
was
jungler.
over, but this changes things. This it's definitely still very difficult, but we can see even with what was probably 5 minutes of pure blue team dominance, there's still only a 5k gold lead. So,
yeah, I mean, you know, surprisingly, Team Kian has done a pretty good job with keeping up with objectives Drake-wise.
Yes.
So I imagine those stats will help them with just staying alive a little bit longer.
I think they've got 10 minutes, I'd say, maybe a bit closer to 7 or 8, where this Cassiopeia is going to be, 1 to 2 levels ahead of everyone else, and they're going to have to do something in that time. Because the moment Cassiopeia hits 18, everyone starts catching up with her.
Yeah.
And this Jinx is just going to keep getting stronger and stronger. Tahm Kench is going to become unkillable, as is Mordekaiser, and provide 2 brick walls for this Jinx to use to just kite around.
Yeah, I was going to say, now they're starting to clear a vision around Baron. Do you reckon they force a Baron here?
I reckon Red Team gives this a go. I think this is a bit of a do or die moment for them. They are grouped nicely.
Dangerously positioned.
I think they're going to try and look for a pick. They're going to see what blue team does. They know that this is a 4v5 currently. Mordekaiser does have TP, but it depends whether he uses it properly. I would say he needs to go now.
Nice bit of damage there coming from Kian on that Tahm Kench, actually.
Yeah, this is... Mordekaiser's still pushing at the moment, and this is turning into a 5v3, sorry, because Vi is not in the
There we
fight.
go. And there's a Rakan ult to engage, Kian ult as well. But the Jinx
gets one kill.
God.
So it's a 2 for 1 at the moment, but Jinx is now out of the fight, and this gives them a Baron, I think.
I think they might be trading inhib for this Baron, though. And I'm not too sure if that's worked, though.
I think that's good for Red Team, honestly. These inhibitors, really, you should only take them if you think you can end the game off of it, because the moment you take an inhibitor, your super minions start killing the waves that you want to be killing.
Vi's going in for the 1v5. Gets the Camille and just gets bursted.
It's a 1 for 1.
I think
Camille, at this point, it probably isn't worth the 1 for 1 trade.
I think the idea here was to delay the back as much as possible, but in the end, Mordekaiser only gets a turret and no inhibitor, even to show for it.
I think turret with no inhibitor is actually a better result. As I was saying, that you don't really want super minions running down the waves that you want to be taking, because you lose XP and gold. So unless you're ending the game, having inhibitors down isn't really worth it for your team. So
Gotcha. Oh, Jinx soloing the red.
yeah, Jinx being a bit cheeky here, honestly. There's a lot of vision around that top side for the red team, and she gets away with it for free, but that could have been risky. If anyone
surprisingly, the obviously the kill to death, well, the kill ratio between the Vi and the Kazakhs are a pretty big differential right now, but surprisingly, this Kazakhs has not fallen behind in CS. It's actually managed to keep even with it.
No, I mean, I think you said before the game, that we're dealing with two master junglers here in terms of their rank, and I think. Oh,
yeah, here we have the team fight
that was
again.
the steal from earlier, I believe. Yeah,
the
this was the first Baron steal for the red team, and yeah, as we can see, the team fight potential from NikNakz's team was pretty insane, and just able to blow up the rest of the team after the steal. This was earlier in the game. Yeah. This was Jinx getting picked up. I want to see if we could get to see that second Baron fight.
God.
And that was Mordekaiser finally using his ult on the Rakan, and I think providing a lot of utility to the rest of his team.
Yeah, this is Kian surprisingly stopping the game from ending.
Yeah, I think NikNakz's team here, it was a bit of a focusing issue. I don't know if you noticed, Mordekaiser spent the entire time focusing the turret, and the rest of his team wasn't, and was looking to fight.
Another fight here, they're going to get that Tahm Kench pick. And the Kennen as well, wait.
Was that 2-0? It was a 2-0.
That's a 2-0 right now.
We're looking at 26 seconds on the drag, so neither of them will be up for that. So it'll be a 5v3 for the next 30 seconds.
I think they're just trying to break this inhib and get out.
Yeah, they're trying to push in all the ways.
Oh, but they get caught from behind though.
There's Jinx down, that is massive. Vi also going to go down. Snaggle stops the Q escape. Very well, actually. He jumps perfectly in front of the Vi. This is going to be a free soul.
Then Drake's up as well, that just gives him soul point.
What I would want to see right now is one member of Team Kian going for the drag and the rest pushing down mid. And I think that's what they're going to do.
A very impressive performance from Snaggle right now, actually. That Rakan has been so important in keeping them in.
It was clear to see the one time he got pulled out of the team fight, it was impossible for them to win. But anytime he's allowed to do Rakan stuff, he's very annoying, knocking everyone up, charming them. I mean, it's what Rakan does, really.
I mean, yeah, it really is.
Doing it very well. They were going to rotate bot side. They still got, 10 seconds left of a 5v3? They might look... Nah, they're all going to back.
No objectives up at the moment. No team fights worth taking either.
Ocean Soul, which provides quite a bit of survivability in team fights, actually. The first attack in a fight, it'll give you a nice heal. So when used correctly...
there we go. This is the second Baron fight we're on about.
Yeah.
I cannot believe the Jinx escaped this.
It was a very nice flash, getting the kill on Rakan for the movement speed buff. This is Tahm Kench getting picked. And then it was interesting to see here, they just... we don't quite get to see their vision of it, but they got picked off from behind, which was quite surprising, because obviously we'd just seen the fight beforehand go in the red team's favour, so they knew that they were on the map behind them. But we're
starting to see the issues of this Mordekaiser going for Riftmaker instead of the normal Jackshot tank item.
Yeah, he's unfortunately just not quite tanky enough.
Once that Tahm Kench goes down, that's it.
Yeah, he needs to try and get a pick with his ult, but he unfortunately can't. And this is a problem. If any one of Team NikNakzz goes down, their team fight just falls off a cliff. They really need all of their champs up to do the 5, sort of mega combo that they're looking for.
Yeah, I mean, as we said, this is the issue. Mordekaiser not going Jackshot that starts falling off later these games as well, especially when really the only tank they have is Tahm Kench.
Yes, and for the hyper carry Jinx, it's nice to have sort of 2 tanks supplying the front line. I know Vi as well is very tanky, but if you have Vi and Tahm Kench and Mordekaiser all looking for picks, then Jinx doesn't really have any pill left. And
exactly. I think in a team comp like this, where it's such a heavy setup, your ADC just has to be top priority for this.
Yeah.
What do we think the win con is for this one here? Do we think it's going to be Elder in the next Baron fight?
I think next Baron should just be given, whichever team sets up the vision correctly, probably wins the fight at this point. I think Elder will be where we see one team look for a Hail Mary, and whether it works or not will decide the game. I think it's a lot closer than it should be. I think it's surprising how well Team Kian has come back into this game.
Yeah, I mean, I really thought that this was just over for them.
Yeah,
like, I can't lie, I was not a believer, but
they've stuck together. I mean, I think you're going to have to eat some humble soup with this Cassiopeia.
I think I might actually have to. I don't think he's ever going to let this go.
Lot of damage and honestly a lot of utility for his team. His W's have been relatively good, and he's stopping quite a lot of the kiting potential of Team NikNakzz.
I mean, you know, if he wins this, no one's going to hear the end of it for the entire week.
And I think that's fair play, honestly, with the performance he's had so far.
We
got a little bit of a
one, and they collapse on the Vi. Oh, but the Vi taking stopwatch.
Stopwatch.
They're trying to focus
Kian
now
is
on
being
this.
caught.
Just getting kited away by this Jinx. Oh my god.
Kennen ult whiffs. No one gets hit by that Kennen ult, and Kennen will go down, as will Vi.
I think this is the beginning of the end right now.
And what we saw there, I mean, I think we probably hit the nail on the head with the start. You know, Camille, Xayah, Rakan, Kha'Zix, all of them there spaced really well around the big AoE damage from Team NikNakzz. They all
I personally think there's a chance for this Jinx to... Oh, never mind.
It's a lot of damage, unavoidable, and honestly, they can end him.
Yeah,
Kian is very tanky. There's one down. He should stop taking the aggro now, though. He's not going to. And
that's
going to be game. Very well played.
And stopwatch.
Honestly, I mean, MVP, as much as I'm going to praise as much as I'm going to praise Kian just to sort of piss you off a little bit, I'm very sorry. I think MVP has to go to Snaggle. His Rakan, I mean, we saw it, the one fight where he got Mordekaiser ulted, their team fell apart, which just showed how important he was to the comp overall, providing so much utility and pill for the Xayah, but also for the Cassiopeia, who provided, I think, just as much damage.
I'm at a loss for words, actually, that they ended up being a loss for Blue Team. I really thought they had that when they started fading away, but I guess Kian decided that he'd hold the hands of all of them and just keep them in there, especially the Rakana as well. I mean, it kind of just speaks for itself, the amount of like Vi escapes that he caught, the amount of peeling, especially knockups, the engages and the disengages. Just
and
you know, you can MVP Kian, but I feel like you have to MVP Snaggle.
No, I think MVP Snaggle. 100%. I would also like to just mention, you sort of mentioned it briefly, the Kha'Zix build. Yes, but I think it's important to note, like, it's not the best build for Kha'Zix, but in the situation he was in, it was probably the best thing he could do for his team. And the fact that he decided to do that, give up his ability to 1v1 anyone in the game, but provide, he built Black Cleaver, which just provided, the armor shred that Xayah and Camille would want. And sort of sacrificing yourself for your team is something we don't see very often as League players, especially in solo queue. But I think it provided a lot of support, and as we can see, his team won. So I think decision made correctly there.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is just a very good example of what it's like to play for the team instead of just playing to be the 1v9 carry. You know, the Gorgringer just gave a lot of, I guess, survivability, especially in the comp where they didn't really have any tanks, you know?
No, they very much... They proved us wrong in one way, which is they didn't win any, as far as I can remember, 1v1 skirmish. Their team was a 1v1 team.
I don't know, man. Everyone did the opposite of what was supposed to happen. The 1v1 comp lost the 1v1s, and the team fight comp lost the team fights.
But I think what it did prove is a team that plays together, like, actually sacrifices themselves. I mean, the Camille as well, like, clearly had a rough game. I don't know exactly what rank they had, but didn't look at all like they had tilted, like they were running it down. It's not fun to be 0-7 or 0-6. Everyone knows that, but
I mean, mental stability is one of the biggest things. 100%.
Yeah, but was still able to sort of hold a lane against the Kennen, stopped the split pushes, which in that situation I wouldn't want to be the one to do that, but sort of did it selflessly and the results at the end were a win. So
Yeah.
I think
now for the next week now, Kian has bragging rights. I will not be hearing the end of this. He's probably heard some of the stream and heard me mock that alt. And when I get into VC, I will be getting it.
But I think you have to say fair dues. It wasn't that his team won for him. He absolutely deserves that win. I think that Cassiopeia, a couple of whiffed ults, but but it's also the fact he was target banned. What, 3 picks?
Yeah, he was. I mean,
kind of, because they also banned out
Kali,
his Akali.
Silas, Vex. So, yeah. So you know what? Fair play. I'll give him that one.
I think, to provide the value he did, he was almost as tanky as the Mordekaiser on the enemy team. Frankly, Seraphs is a bit broken, but
yeah, we'll come back to that one a different day. Actually, I'm sure Riot is a very small indie company to fix it.
Are we looking to speak to any of the players after the game?
No, I think we're just looking to end this now. Congratulations to Kian and his team. I hope they enjoyed their Red Bull.
Yeah, thank you for having me on.
No, of course. Thanks for coming on, and thank you for Twitch chat as well for listening.
Yeah, it's been great. Hopefully see you guys next week. I think I'll be playing again. Hopefully regain the title, regain the crown.
Oh, hell yeah.
But yeah, thanks.
That being said, thanks you for watching and thank you for being here.
Bye-bye.
Till I get up, time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah, no, I don't wanna waste what's left. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go. See the horizon, turn us to thousands, and we'll grow in number, fueled by them to see the horizon, turn us to thousands, and on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays, and on
beyond infinity and back again. I'm to them. Young dog and a talking. You know once in the shine, don't vex when you get married. Me nah make trouble stress my brain. Cut checks, me I cut to the chase.